Okay, I'm back after a few weeks of assembling all the parts and the weather being a little bit warmer. So anyways, we have a pressurized, what do they call it here? Abrasive blaster. A 10-gallon abrasive blaster. Anyways, got that on sale for $1.50 Canadian. Princess Auto here in Canada. You guys in the States, I think, sell this at Harbor Freight. So I got one of those, pressurized. You fill that up. And there's my vacuum. That's about an 8-gallon, and that's about 4 gallons per cylinder I used. So those two pieces come into here, which this part is absolutely groundbreaking, I feel. So what I've done is I made a manifold using MDF. It's 3 layers. The first layer goes to the metal, and then the next 2 layers are round to fit my elbow. The actual intake has a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see that there. It's got a bit of a little bend in it, I guess, to help filter or flow the air better. Anyways, that was the key piece, because I've seen guys on the forums where they just blow away into an open space and it just blows back everywhere on you. And they talk about getting it in their hair and their eyes, wear glasses. So none of anything I've done here is original. I've copied and put together a system that I've seen other forums and websites use. So the key for this is how BMW does it. They have one of these, but it's metal, and it just pushes right into the intake. So because the LNF or the Ecotec engine has a bit of a, it's not a perfect shape. It's kind of has a, like I said, a bend in it. Anyways, this is a PVC pipe from Lowe's. I just put a hole there in the end. I used a little bit of foam here to give a better seal, and I used another piece of foam on the whole length of this to seal it to the metal. So this just pushes in, fits in there nice and easy. Got the hose, and I have a little bit of black tape because I made the hole a little bit too big, but it allows you to manipulate the wand in. So the hard part for this was getting the wand. Most of the time it's on back order. This is from BMW. I went on the BMW sites, and like I said, there's no media in your hair or all over the place or covering the whole engine bay in plastic. To me, that did seem a little ridiculous. I did see a Cobalt guy make one of these and use this. So the difference was I used the BMW tool. So this tool just fits. Yeah, get that in the hole there. It just fits in the hole. It goes down the length of the chamber, and now you have a pretty much airtight. When I was doing it, nothing came back through this hole here. Not much of a clearance, so not much can come back. You basically crank your volume or your lever here, and that allows your media to come in. With this tank, there's a lever on the bottom that you can have just air, or you can turn it and media will come out. So of course, using the walnut shell. And the best part is you can, per cylinder, my vacuum used about 4 gallons per cylinder, or I guess intake. And I did absolutely no scraping, no soaking, chemical soak in the valves, nothing like that. Just pure blasted away, and like I said, you get to reuse all the media, which is awesome. So that's pretty much it, and you can manipulate this between the 2 valves, the 2 sides, in and out, no problems. And I don't know if you can see this here. So I had the rod out a little too far, but you can see there, it just ate away at the wood. This isn't really the best camera. Anyways, I had the rod out too far, and you can see it just ate away at the wood there. Repeating myself. I'll see if I can get another better shot in here of what I came up with. But not the best. Anyways, it cleaned up like a champ. Brand new, and to use a pun, which is suitable, I was actually blown away. It had a bit of, just messing around, whatever. Let's see if I can get this to work here. Anyways, it worked like a charm. Blew me away. I did, like I said, no No prep, no nothing, just blasted, and everything came out clean as a whistle. First time ever, it took me about an hour and a half, so obviously second time around I probably could knock it off in about an hour, 15 minutes per intake. Anyways, it worked like a charm. I wore no eye protection. I did not cover the engine bay with plastic. If you go on the BMW sites, you'll see how they do it, and the technician is just like this. The engine bay is open exposed. There's no nothing, no prep, just plug and play. Anyways, this is a much better system than I've seen. I put it all together to make a pretty much carefree system. So good luck to anyone that wishes to put it all together and copy what I've done. Like I said, nothing I've done here is original. This piece is a BMW. This, I've seen this before. He bought this. Another guy did this setup. But yeah, I've just kind of put all these stray things together to make a perfect, I think, a perfect system. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to put this back together and see if the valve cleaning was the problem. And I'm going to guess that the spark plugs and the fuel injectors were just soaked with oil. So I'm going to guess that that was part of the issue too, as far as that cylinder, the third cylinder, being pretty much feels like it's dead. It drives like a diesel. So now that all those are cleaned up, I'm hoping it'll run perfect, and then I'll figure out what to do. On a side note here, so if I can get this picture in here, so that hole in there, that's the turbo inlet hole for pressure off the crank case. So I'm going to put the tube back on, but that connects to, which piece? To this piece here. This piece here. And it pulls pressure from the crank. So that's what's sucking the oil in. So I'm not going to connect that back up. I'm just going to let it vent to air and see how that goes. And in the future, I guess I'll get myself a catch can type thing. But I'm guessing they've just decided to design the engine so that it sucks out the fumes from the crankcase and reuses them in your combustion. But of course, that's led to this current problem. Anyways, that's everything I can show you. And I don't know, I think it's an awesome system. I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out. And absolutely no mess. Zero mess. From what I've seen other guys do and talk about, the guy that did it on the Cobalt site, he had to cover his whole engine bay, and basically he got as much blast on him as down his intake. Anyways, this is perfect. Worked out great. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you can duplicate this. And like I said, these parts, these adapters to get this BMW piece to fit was Lowe's. This piece was Lowe's. Maybe you got a vacuum. This is a threaded. This is just an adapter piece I had at a plumbing store. I bought that. But I've seen guys use the handheld gun where they load it into a hopper. But of course, with this tank, once again, minutes saved. So thanks for watching, and I hope to start this engine up with zero problems. That would be amazing. It didn't cost me any parts other than what I needed to get the media blast set up. Thanks.